The big breaking news tonight comes from Liverpool, who have agreed with Bayern Munich the transfer fee for Ryan Gravenberch. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, deadline day is upon us. It is the final day of the transfer window, and it seems that teams are still left, right and centre going to be making some big business today. It could be a very busy deadline day, one of the more exciting ones in recent memory. And one team that is doing business right now is Liverpool Football Club, who have today seemingly confirmed the agreement in principle for Ryan Gravenberch of Bayern Munich after the two teams have allegedly agreed a fee in the region of 40 million euros for the midfielder, a guy that has been on Liverpool's radar for a while, has finally resolved this transfer saga, it seems. We're going to be talking all about this transfer story. We're going to be talking about Gravenberch. We're going to be talking about Liverpool. We're going to be talking about Bayern, everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always have to be greatly appreciated. And of course, I want you to get involved in the comment section as well. I'm sure you have a lot of interesting thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, that will make for great and interesting reading down below in that comment section. So do get involved down there. Otherwise, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Ryan Gravenberch and a move to Liverpool. Now, the breaking news tonight came from David Ornstein, who took to Twitter, or X as it's now known, which is, again, stupid. But he took to X tonight to say that exclusive, Liverpool have reached an agreement with Bayern Munich to sign Ryan Gravenberch, fixed fee, 40 million euros, Netherlands international to join on long-term contract, 21-year-old flying to Liverpool this evening before Medical Friday. Fabrizio Romano followed this up with Ryan Gravenberch to Liverpool. Here we go, 40 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons, 5-year deal. He will fly to Liverpool this evening. Agreement in place and medical tests booked. Deal was negotiated by Jose Fortes Rodriguez from Rayola. So, it seems Liverpool, after months of interest, links heating up, links dying down and cooling off, to then spark back up again as the transfer window is about to close, will finally get the target that they had right at the beginning of the transfer window. I remember doing a video on this when links were starting to really heat up about this guy going to Liverpool months ago. And you can go back and watch it. My thoughts on this guy have only changed a little bit. I still think he's a great player, and I stated that in the previous video that I did on him. I think this guy is a very good player. Now, I've not watched him religiously. I've watched little bits here and there. I've watched bits of Bayern here and there, and when he's been there and things. Read a lot, watched a lot, heard a lot about this guy. Done my research, and can say that this guy looks like a good fit for a Jurgen Klopp side, for a Jurgen Klopp midfield. This guy has a lot of energy. This guy is very industrious. This guy's got a lot of physicality. He's got a lot of tenacity, got a lot of presence in that midfield in terms of his physicality attributes and his height and everything. Ball winner, ball carrier, a mixed kind of midfielder with a lot of versatility to his game in terms of he can play a number 6, he can play a number 8. He's got the physicality and the kind of intelligence and ball winning attributes of a number 6. He's got the passing and the ball carrying potential, and of course the engine of a number 8 and a more box-to-box style player. So whether you're playing him alongside the newest signings of McAllister or Szoboszlai, or even rotating him in and out for Endo, or whether you're playing him alongside Endo as a two-man midfield maybe, or a three-man midfield if you throw one of them other two in there as well, this guy can add extra depth and an extra option to that midfield. So when you're bringing him in, that is a lot to obviously consider as obviously helping the Liverpool midfield rebuild. This guy arrives with a lot of promise, a lot of potential. This guy is 21 years of age. He's still finding his feet within the game, and he's got a lot of potential still to further unlock. At Bayern Munich, there was the sense that this guy couldn't really nail down a place in the midfield, but there might be other factors to it. Bayern Munich have had a bit of a crazy year with this past year or so, of course, that he's obviously been there. He, of course, transferred from Ajax last year, and I know that obviously he's it was brought up through the ranks in Holland, but of course made his big move to Bayern Munich last summer. Bayern have had a crazy year. They've gone from Julian Nagelsmann, of course, to Thomas Tuchel, and Gravenberch has really failed to really nail down a starting place. Now, I know it's a competitive midfield. I know that the standards at Bayern Munich in that midfield area in particular are very high. Gravenberch was a part-time player, here and there kind of thing, but never really nailed down that place. Whether that was because he didn't really fit in with the systems over there, whether that was because that Nagelsmann had a plan for him, and obviously that plan never was brought to full fruition because obviously he got sacked. I don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it that well to really comment. But what I do know is that, like I say, from seeing this guy, he arrives with a lot of potential, a diamond in the rough kind of thing. And where opportunity may have lacked for him in Germany and with Bayern, opportunity of playing and nailing down a place in the starting 11 for Liverpool in that midfield area will, I'm sure, present itself very highly. He'll join a lot of new players in that midfield as Liverpool have looked to kind of rebirth and resurrect that midfield over the course of this summer, and ultimately haven't maybe had the best of times in doing that, of course, and it's left us quite humiliated and unbelievably angry at times. But like I say, at least this isn't a sort of signing which is a panic signing. It seems like a panic signing because obviously it's being done on the final day of the transfer window, but this is a guy we've had on our radar for quite some time. So at least we've done a bit of research into this guy before ultimately selecting him as our next target. What I said in the previous video was that, like I say, I named all the attributes that I've mentioned already in this video. I think like he's a good fit in that aspect, but I did mention some concerns, and those concerns have slightly grew for me as the transfer window's gone on, and they're not necessarily about him. The ones that are about him are his price tag. 34 million for a guy who had 4 years left on his current deal. A 21-year-old with a lot of potential, highly raved about. It just seems a little weird to me that Bayern didn't maybe haggle for more. I'm not one to judge a player purely based on price tag, because let's face it, the price has nothing to do with them. That is purely based on the two clubs rather than the actual attributes and what that particular player can bring to a squad. I just wonder why maybe Bayern didn't haggle for more, given the way that his contract is pretty lengthy. His attributes and his quality and his potential are there to see. Like I say, he's rough around the edges, of course he is. But there seemed a lot there for Bayern to really work with. Now, is it a case of they're just making room for an upgrade? Is it just a case that they don't really see this guy progressing any further or getting any better than the money that Liverpool are currently presenting them? Or is it a case that maybe Gravenberch wants to move on and Bayern are just willing to let him move on? I don't necessarily know, but it does seem a little bit strange to me in that aspect that they would let him go for a considerably smaller fee than maybe what a lot of people in his position would probably go for. Maybe I'm just used to seeing Premier League players in that position, young players like that with plenty of years after their contract go for 60, 70, 80 odd million. I don't know. I don't know whether it's just different and how different they do things over in Germany. But like I say, it's a good price tag for the kind of player he is with the potential he's got. And obviously for FSG, it's perfect. This is the perfect FSG signing. The money aspect is perfect for them. So, you know, whatever. That's just it. Like, I'm not going to get into that debate particularly here. And like I say, the price tag for me is somewhat slightly irrelevant when you consider Is the player going to be good enough for the team? And right off the bat, I can say as a guess, I think he will be good. I think he will be good enough. But like I say, I just find it a little bit strange that Bayern haven't haggled for more in this situation, and I do call into question a little bit on that. My next concern, this isn't on him, this is on the club. If this guy was on your radar for so long, if this guy was admired by Klopp for so long, why were we in for him at the beginning of the summer when the transfer window was just getting underway, to then having links called off, to then having the likes of Manchester United and whoever else go in for him? Why have we gone the entire summer where we really like this guy to then drop our interest because the likes of Mason Mount, Sofian Amrabat, Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo came along, to then go all the way back to signing this guy? Now, I know that there were a few stories that Bayern were playing a little bit of hardball. But if you were going to go in for him, why don't you just put the money down on the table at the beginning? Because from what I'm getting from Liverpool fans right now is some are excited, some are liking this move, some are saying that this could be a bit of a diamond in the rough thing, which is what I'm kind of saying here. But I also share their concerns, and I also share the frustration that we didn't necessarily go in for him at the beginning. Because in my opinion, if we'd have gone in for him when we were at the beginning of the transfer window, I think this would have been met with a lot more optimism, a lot more excitement, a lot more intrigue than what we are getting right now. For me, it seems like not necessarily a panic buy, but it does seem like we're out of options and we're going to have to dig out the file of facts again and go back to other targets that we had in previous window. Sheikh Doucouré for 70 million was ridiculous. That should have never happened. That should have never got that far. We were even considering that. Nothing against Doucouré, but for the price tag, no. That should have never happened. Kefren Thuram I've been calling for all summer, should have been ideal for the time, but that ship now seemingly has sailed. This guy, like I say, for the price tag, for his potential, for his ability, for his rough around the edges, and like I say, the diamond in the rough kind of feel you get from this guy. Like I say, it seems a decent move, but we definitely should have done this earlier on in the transfer window rather than go through all this again. And now that this has happened, I'm hoping and I'm praying there is more to come from this deadline day for Liverpool. I'm hoping and praying. Like I say, this move seems good. I'm happy enough with this move. Like I say, it's been a long and frustrating transfer window for Liverpool fans. This move is, in my opinion, a good move. I'm not going to completely go back on what I said previously. Like I say, I do have my concerns over it. I have my concerns over whether this guy really lives up to the hype. I have my concerns over whether or not this guy is just someone who people rave about after seeing him for a few times, but is actually not that special. I worry about the Bayern seemingly being so casual in letting him go. Whether there's something to be read into that or not, I don't know, remains to be seen. I do have my concerns, like I say, over the fact that Liverpool went through an entire summer of talking about this guy and having interest in this guy, to then have their attention turned by other players, and then to only go back to him right at the end where we're slightly desperate to bring in midfielders or players even, so we're not leaving ourselves kind of short, or maybe not leaving ourselves kind of short for the remainder of the season to come. I do have my concerns. But I'm hoping there's more. Genuinely hoping there is more to come from Liverpool today. And I'm mainly looking at that centre-back area. Or the right-back area. Right-back, centre-back. Right centre-back. Right-sided centre-back. That has to be the area we have to look at today. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that Liverpool pull a rabbit out of the hat. And I'm hoping that we do get a defender signing. Because if we don't, I worry that the position we found ourselves in this summer, where we're having to rip out our midfield and start it over again, I am really worried that we will get there again next summer. And it will be our defence this time that is the focus. That's what I'm worried about. I've said it all summer. I've been worried that our defence is not being looked at as much as it should. I'm worried that our defence is going to deteriorate to the point where next summer we are having to rip that out and start it and rebuild it again, the same way we've done with our midfield this summer. So I do worry about that. Do I expect Liverpool to pull a rabbit out of the hat and maybe sign a defender? I think the best we'll get is a loan move. If anything, if something is to materialise, the best we'll get is a loan move. Otherwise, I see the same spiel all the time, season after summer after summer. We'll expect the Klopp's happy with the squad kind of copy and paste from seasons gone by. We'll probably hear the right player wasn't available spiel. They've had 150 odd million just sat there for the past couple of months, not doing anything, being put into bids for players that didn't want to play for us. So where's that money gone? Where has that money gone? Like, yes, okay, 15 million of it was spent on Endo. 35 million now is seemingly going to be spent on Gravenberch. So that's 50 million. Where's the other 100 million? Spurs got Van der Ven for about, what was it, 40 million, something like that, 30, 40 million, something like that. I was calling out for Van der Ven this summer. I know he's more left-sided, I get that, but at the same time, I was calling out for Van der Ven this summer. I think he would have been good for us, but missed that opportunity. So, yeah, Liverpool, get in gear. You got one more day to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and it has to be defender now. You've got your midfielder. You got lucky. You got lucky with the way that you've obviously messed around with this transfer window. You got the midfielder. I personally am quite happy about this. I think that this could be a very good signing. I see the good of it. I see the concerns of it. But defence, it has to be looked at and it has to be addressed today. You've had all summer. Imagine if Liverpool had to work on deadlines for the most part of transfers. They'd get so much done quicker. They panicked, they've gone out and they've splashed the cash on Gravenberch. When Szoboszlai's contract clause was running out, they acted quickly then. I'm hoping that Liverpool do something today. I'm hoping Liverpool do more today. I'm hoping Liverpool do more and they address a defence that next year could be on the verge of being ripped out and rebirthed. So we'll wait and see. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. This guy, I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this Ryan Gravenberch situation? Do you think it'll be a good move for Liverpool? Do you think it'll be a bad move for Liverpool? What do you guys think? What do you think? You feel? Your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, will make for great and interesting reading down below in that comment section. So do get involved down there. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always incredibly greatly appreciated. And of course, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. I will see you all again soon on what should hopefully and maybe be a very exciting and very busy transfer deadline day. Have a good day, guys. See you soon.